Look, every massive venture capital giant out there with their endless funds, fancy offices, and big shiny brands, they're failing. Not just a little. They are getting crushed by microfunds. Tiny, scrappy, almost invisible at first glance, but making returns that turn those behemoths green with envy. It's maddening, right? How come the little guys, with fractions of the capital and nowhere near the name recognition, are winning the game? This isn't some accident or lucky streak. It cuts straight through the myth that size equals power, security, or inevitable success. The old rules are dead, buried under weighty portfolios that move slower than market shifts. And if that doesn't disturb you, if it doesn't make your blood boil just imagining what you're missing out on, then maybe you haven't felt the pain of being stuck, of investing in outdated models that bleed opportunity. You know the feeling. Watching the market pivot, founders explode onto the scene with ideas so fresh they disrupt entire industries overnight, while your enormous fund is still sighing under layers of red tape and endless committees. You've sat through meeting after meeting, feeling the weight of the system's inertia crushing every ounce of speed, agility, and gut instinct you once bragged you had. The pain is real. You want to back the bold, the outside the box, the radically new. But the system, the rules, the so-called best practices tie you down, force you into comfort zones and predictable bets. Meanwhile, those microfunds are slicing through, moving faster, digging deeper, building relationships that money can't buy, spotting hidden gems where giants see only noise. It's infuriating, but it's also a call to rethink everything you assumed about venture investing. Here's the brutal truth. Size makes you slow, clumsy, and predictable. The big guys chase safety, the crowd, and portfolio diversification that spreads you thin and kills focus. Microfunds don't just survive, they thrive by rejecting this. They break free from the illusion that massive means better. They bet on individual founders with fire so fierce it burns the conventional to ashes. They cultivate true connection, not just numbers. They aren't bound by protocols or layers of approval that turn opportunity into regret. Every dollar they put in carries intention, precision, and relentless curiosity. They prioritize speed, yes, but more than that. They prioritize alignment with visionaries who refuse to play it safe. This is where you find the magic. Beyond neat spreadsheets and polished pitches, in those raw, electric moments where future giants are born. Now imagine you could tap into that. Imagine breaking free from the bind of the institution's false promises, the comfort that paralyzes and the rule book that chains your intuition. The path forward isn't about building the biggest fund. It's about sculpting the sharpest, most focused, most nimble vehicle for real change. That means recalibrating your whole approach. You need to trust the edge, the outliers, the founders who scare the mainstream. Microfunds see potential where others see risk. They invest time, sweat, and real partnership instead of just checks. It's about being sovereign. Your will, your weapon. Making decisions faster than the market can shift. Question everything the old guard tells you, and aligning with those who burn as you do. Here's what the giants can't grasp. Microfunds win not just because they are small, but because they embody freedom and courage at their core. They find power in the rare, the misunderstood, the exceptional. They reject the middle of the road, the optimized for mediocrity ideas and investors that flood the market. The traditional system sells comfort and conformity disguised as freedom, and it's killing innovation. The huge funds become trapped, beholden to spreadsheets and committees that value sameness over brilliance. Microfunds don't scale noise, they amplify essence. They don't ask for belonging. They craft belonging through becoming. They're not about fitting in. They're about standing out, about creating a new paradigm fueled by individuality and true connection. Your pain is the system's pain, but you're not here to endure it. You're here to transcend it. Microfunds prove that this is possible. They are the infrastructure for the exceptional that the old world forgot, the living network where the rare meet and build explosive synergy. You can harness that. You don't have to wait for the system to evolve. You can build something new yourself. A selective, ruthless, transformative network tuned to humanity's highest potential. Not for everyone. Only for those who dare to refuse the borrowed life, who won't settle for second best, who hunger for real liberation from comfortable cages stuffed with illusions of security. If your gut screams at you that the colored tape-funded giants aren't the future, if your fire burns for connection that's real, For partnerships that spark and ignite, not just transactions, then microfunds are your blueprint. Not just a trend, but a revolution that demands you shed the old skin and become sovereign over your decisions, relentless in your pursuit of impact, hungry for the long game. No more masses, no more noise. Just the few who refuse to bend and will remake the future with precision, passion, and patience. Imagine what happens when you embrace this mindset and strategy. When your capital flows not through bloated portfolios struggling to justify themselves, but through concentrated, intentional bets on founders who carry worlds inside their minds and fire in their veins. When your network is forged not from proximity or convenience, but from shared obsession and relentless vision. When every move you make feels like breaking chains instead of adding shackles. That is what microfunds embody. They are not the outliers of failure. They are the new heroes of success, not because they size up, but because they size right. This isn't about bleeding edge buzzwords, it's about core survival. The investment game has been lie-heavy, promising freedom while drowning in bureaucracy, promising equality while rewarding mediocrity, building systems that substitute true connection with empty processes. Microfunds prove that remarkable success demands ripping up that playbook. They run fast and deep, build trust like a weapon, align with the rare sparks, and foster collaboration that multiplies impact. To ignore this is to consent to irrelevance, to decay under the weight of a system too slow to recognize the new way. You don't have to be a giant to move mountains. You have to be the right kind of giant. Sharp, swift, sovereign in thought and action. Microfunds don't just outperform giants because of size. They outperform because they reject everything the system insists you swallow. They design freedom, order reality, and rewrite the rules every single day. And here's the last secret. This isn't closed to you. The power lies in your ability to unlearn what you think you know, to stand apart with a select few who feel the fire inside, to forge networks that transcend borders and outdated traditions. So, dig deep into the microfund mentality. Become the partner who backs the foundries of future reality. Choose precision over bloat. Rally the rare and remake the ecosystem with your alliances. The bigger the fund, the more it drowns in its own weight. The smaller fund that moves with heart, courage, and ruthless selection is a missile with one purpose: to create future legends. That's what outperforms. That's what revolutionizes. That's what freedom looks like in venture. And if you still feel that restless tension, that unbearable pull inside telling you this isn't just about money but about legacy and change, then it's time to stop listening to the old voices, step off the safe path, and join the movement where the rare find strength together. The giants won't catch this wave in time because they're stuck in their illusions. The question is, will you? Because the future is waiting for those who dare to become.